I am sitting here with the lovely Zoe Searle and Ashley Steele, and Zoe and Ashley have been chosen as the first ambassadors to roll out the live voucher program in Cloncurry. You both work in town. What happened when it started raining and it kept raining and just forgot to stop? How did you both feel? Like, Zoe, what was going through your mind?
Oh, the first 4 inches was good.
Yeah. And what was it like?
Well, the first 4 inches of rain over the first 4 days was absolutely gorgeous. It's like, yes, it's finally here. It's shaping up pretty good. And then it kept raining and then it kept raining and then it got really cold and then it was wind. We had like 50-kilometre winds and it was like 17 degrees and the chill factor, I wouldn't even know what the chill factor was, and it was weird. And then
did you have any idea what was happening?
Not really.
On those properties?
Not at that stage. It wasn't until it sort of eased, the rain had eased and sort of all stopped and people were able to get choppers out to see what was happening and where the water, people were posting on Facebook of how much rain, every 24 hours sort of thing, how much rain, and it was sort of getting to the point of getting over 400 to 500 millimetres. And
could you comprehend that it was turning into a disaster, or was that just not?
When the wind and how cold, we went from 45-degree heat the week before and then it just dropped down to 17 degrees with 50-kilometre winds and the chill factor was just outrageous. It knew something was going to happen. Like, I've been here when we had rain in July and it was it was 6 degrees and I had heard stories of cattle dying and stuff like that, but it was just knowing that the Cloncurry was full, the Flinders was full, the Saxby was full, and the Gilliat Channels was full, and it was all going in one direction, and it was just, and the social media posts of when choppers were able to get up and see stuff, and the Friday morning, it was like you did the ritual, read the paper on Facebook and seeing the post, and it was just mind-blowing. It was so heartbreaking.
Just hard to believe.
It was hard to believe to see the amount of water and what people were saying, how far the water had come up, or how we had to get airlifted off our roof, or like those sort of stories started hitting. And I know these people on so many different levels. Like, I've been in this area for such a long time. Like, I felt useless being in town. I couldn't be there to help them.
But even if you were, there wouldn't have been a lot you could have done.
Oh, I know, but just to be there, to be a support person, like someone to talk to, have a cup of tea, hug, cry it out with them. Yeah, that Friday morning, I'll never forget it. Like, that day at work, myself and the other lady I work with, we spent a fair bit of the day in tears. Like, we had people ringing up going, I need calf milk, I need weaner pellets, I need whatever you got. Like, it's hectic. I don't know what to say about it. Like, it was just so emotional. It was a very emotional day, and then it just carried on from there after. And sort of like I just sort of had to be the brave face in my position at my work to try and to tell these people that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But you're hearing stories where people have lost their herd, and all of a sudden they've only got 12 head left that's come up to the house. Or I've heard stories of people losing horses, and it's just it's terrible.
And that was an enormous pressure that you put on yourself, saying you had to be the strong one, and so you carried that burden, because I guess there has to be someone that doesn't break down and that can stay, remain strong. So Ashley, then you actually went out and helped rebuilding fences when you were able to. So tell me about that and how you came to be out helping. And
yeah, so look, like same as Zoe, I was sitting in town for 2 weeks feeling absolutely useless, really wanting to be out and help people. No one knew what was going on, no one could get around, no one knew how much they had to be done. And when I finally did get a phone call to say that I could go, I was gone the next day. I packed a bag and left and didn't think twice about it. And Zoe saying that she's heard the stories of the dead cattle and the dead horses. Well, I saw it. Where I was, they have cattle and horses there, and you know, I knew I was going to see a lot of dead cattle, but I didn't think I'd see a pile of dead horses.
Yeah.
Sort of set of yards.
And that's really confronting, not
It
only
is,
the
yeah.
sight, but I imagine the smell. Like, I know what one dead beast smells like.
The smell is horrendous. It's something so strong that you'll be out fencing, picking up, doing whatever. You'll come back in for a cup of tea at smoko, but you can still smell it. You'd think there's something inside dead. And it just gets stuck to your clothes, and it's terrible. Yeah. And I'm not too sure which is more confronting, the smell or the sight. It is hard to take.
It must have, like, I likened it, not that I saw it except for photos, but to a war zone, and over such a huge area. And I think that's the thing that is so difficult for people to get their head around, that the enormity of it, and how many people were affected and how many animals were lost, and just the area that water covered.
Yeah, it was. We knew that it was going to be big, but we didn't know that it was going to be this big.
Well, you would never have expected. No one would have expected this.
And like, once the picture of the satellite of the rivers running into the Gulf, into the Gulf of Carpentaria, it was mind blowing to see. Like, it was 80 kilometres wide and 500 kilometres long, and it's ridiculous. And it's so flat out here, isn't there? There is nowhere for it to go. And then it's natural grasslands. There's not a lot of trees anyway. There never have been. No.
Where I was at McKinley has got a bit of high country, and I think it was on the Friday afternoon, not this week, gone the week before, we were sort of heading back to the house and looking where the water actually got to, and standing on the side of a small ridge, thinking, there's absolutely no way water would ever get up here, but it would sort of be 2 or 3 foot over my head. And that's only running out of a little tiny creek sort of thing, not one of the rivers.
Thank you both so much, and good luck. I know that you'll do a great job.
Thank you very much.
Cloncurry's in good hands.
Thanks, Cal.
Thanks so much for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please try to remember to just click on the subscribe button so we can keep you updated with everything that's happening. Thank you.